How cool it is when it gets quiet without anything saying. Let's get loud. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the other side of the river Mur, on the other part of the event, our demo day. So, first of all, I want to hear a great loud cheer for everyone that came and for our startups, for our guests. That is actually the level of energy we'll be expecting today. But before we go through any kind of things, how many of you in the audience would feel totally comfortable pitching your products now here today in front of a room full of unknown people? Okay, you're pitching today, pitching today. Someone else? And do you know that when you pitch in front of friends, a little bit of stress gets released from your shoulders and burdens? Okay, so before we go on, I'll invite our Martin and Andrash to literally take care that all of you will be tiny little bit more friends before we continue, okay? So we have now a task for all the audience and the startups to actually get you connected a little bit more, befriended a little bit more, so that we raise up that level and that the startups feel comfortable talking to a room full of friends. Andrash, Martin, what do you have for us?
All right.
Hello, my name is Martin.
And I'm Andrash.
Okay. We're gonna do some networking exercise with you all. So, congratulations, you just won the award.
Being bothered.
Everybody please stand up. Okay, and now find a partner near you. We're gonna do a simple exercise and talk with them one-on-one about very important topics.
Very important.
So, do you have your pair?
It can be more than two people. Just find a partner.
Okay. One more thing.
Die machen es nicht, aber die Genug für alles.
Okay.
You don't know yet what you talk about. Wait for the rules.
There you go. This is why establishing rules before you start an exercise is important. Okay, so we're gonna have one rule. When I raise my hand up, you raise your hand up and stay silent. This is how we're gonna manage the whole conversation. So. See, it works perfectly. Okay, so we're gonna have 2 minutes to talk with your partners, and the first question is gonna be super hard one. If your personality trait was a flavor of ice cream, which would it be and why? So you have 2 minutes to discuss this with your partner. If your personality trait was an ice cream flavor, which one would it be and why? 2 minutes, starting now.
I would say strawberry. Although I'm not a big fan of strawberry. Yeah.
Okay, how was it? Were you some delicious ice cream? This one was a nice one to just stress out a little bit. But now it's super important one. We want to ask you another question. But first, you need to mix up. You need to find another pair. Another person to talk to.
That you don't know yet.
I don't know you.
Hi, Gorazd. Gorazd? Yeah. Where are you from? Slovenia. Oh, yeah. So, Slovenia.
Another question here. In the business world, if you were looking for something in an employee, what would be his best personality trait? So if you're looking for an employee, what would his best personality trait be that you are searching for it in them? Now, 2 minutes.
And why?
And why?
Why?
Always why?
Well, first of all, it's got to be her. That's gotta be her. That's a good start. I would go for loyal. I'd say honest. Honesty, ethics, good ethics, strong ethics. I could relate to that. So that can enable building long-term relationships and trust. And come out of this. It cannot be the first thing you want to think.
Right. Doesn't matter what else they know. They're not honest. They're not loyal.
Then we can do this together.
Let's not be a sheep. What are we going to do with this information once we what do you know what we're going to do with this information?
No, the meaning is to
get to know each
to
other.
get to know each other, to loosen up a bit, and usually it helps remember better what follows. Because you get more activated. Because people might come from different places. But exercise at exercise today breathing exercises, otherwise I'm an engineer by profession. Energy. But I do as a side job, I do this exercise. Help manage stress, to relieve stress.
I wouldn't call myself that, but I'm in the industry. Yeah.
Oh, I read. I have a good friend when I was younger. It was crazy about it.
Okay, thank you. So this was fun. Does anybody want to shout out the personality traits that we talked about?
Accountability.
Accountability.
Nice.
Honesty.
Nice.
Accountability.
A third one.
Nice.
Empathy. Loyalty.
Reliability.
Reliability, nice.
Wow. Okay. I think together we have a very good person to hire. So now we're going to check it up again because we're already used to change. Now we're going to do another challenge, but with a different partner. But we're going to do 2 truths and a
and a lie. So basically, we're gonna play a little game, but first let's mix up your partners again, and then I'll explain. All right. One last I love it. Love that idea. Alright, perfect. Alright, so rules of the game. I'm gonna tell you 3 sentences. 2 of them are truths, and 1 of them is a lie. Your team's objective is to find the lie. Got it? Alright, so that I won't tell you all truths, I'm gonna read them off of here. Okay. Alright, so bumblebees communicate by buzzing in specific patterns to convey messages to their members. That's number 1. Number 2, bumblebees are capable of flying at very high altitudes, like over 15,000 meters. That's high bumblebees. And the third one, bumblebees can actually recognize human faces and remember them. Alright, so which one is the lie? You got 2 minutes.
2 minutes
You so
discuss.
love
Yes.
Alright, so in our little hive of Hummelnesters, bumblebee nesters if you will, who do you think is the right or wrong sentence? What do we get? A, B, or C?
B.
Raise your hand for
Wrong.
What's wrong? What's wrong? Yeah.
C. B.
C. We got C. We got B. C. Alright, who's up for C? Raise your hands. Alright, we got a few hands. Who's for A? Well, we got a few hands. And who's for B? Are the rest of you here? Well, you're right. Okay, good job, everyone. You win the Primo Day. Yeah, that's what you win. All right, so now please take your seats. Now that you've gotten to know each other, please take your seats. All right, and now for one final, should we raise our hands again? All right. For one final announcement, right there behind you is our little mural of beehives, or our bee bumblebees, if you will. So the objective there is for everyone to take a little note and write up something, an innovation that could change the world, and pop it on there. And let it be forever for everyone to see. All right, and we have everything from RoboCop to 3D printing ice cream machines to curing cancer. So it's really up to you. All right.
We have to draw the
hexagon.
Hexagon, we have a template, and then you put it in the middle, and this way startups are going to create something on this event, the speakers are going to create something on this event, and we all together are going to create something on the event that we can have a nice memory of. So please, after the talks, join us.
Creating a hive.
Think about your $1 million idea and write it down.
And now we give the stage back to our lovely Ushka. All right.
Actually, I love the smiles and the laughter that were going on around the room. So everyone feels better, everyone feels connected. The foreigners in the room now got it. The Hummel actually means bumblebee. Okay, so we're talking about the bumblebee's nest. And you can hear for the demo day, meaning for our startups in the front row. But I'm convinced that not everyone knows what demo day is, what that actually is, Hans.
A demo day is when hidden gems are let loose on the world. And an accelerator is when you discover hidden talents and superpowers within startups so they can develop. That's the point of what we're doing here.
Really?
It is.
I see a hidden gem in the room.
You see a hidden gem.
Seriously, when we were talking about hidden gem, I'm sorry, my dear startups, you totally know I love you so dearly, but talking about hidden gem and Hannes, you're just so awesome today, look at that. A hidden gem, come on.
Well,
Jeff, you didn't expect that.
let's clarify something here, okay? This outfit is not something I wear voluntarily. And I want to let you in on a story here. The story goes that actually we said we had to dress up in a specific way. And it was like the Hummelnest t-shirt. And then people know that the accelerator colors are black, yellow, pink, and turquoise or baby blue, depends on the definition. So I said, okay, then I'm wearing a black shirt and black trousers. And somebody said, no, you're wearing pink. Okay? And this is why I'm here, and actually I really hate it. But you know, the things you do for the people you love.
Oh, so how many of you actually believe that you hate it? That's a challenge. I'm not convinced, and there are some funny giggles here. You have a proof?
No, you know.
I think you're ready for the parade on Saturday.
Getting ready, you're practicing.
Yeah, I am. Totally.
Will you show us? Will you tell us the story? Will you tell us?
The story?
Yeah.
Well, Wishka thinks that actually I was having a lot of fun doing this.
And they are nodding.
And you're nodding. And actually, what we have here is sort of a proof. Is this
Grumpy face.
grumpy face, first of all. That's what I think to Wishka. She thought, well, maybe I was actually enjoying this. And then there's kids involved, and I have to tell you one thing there as well. Who of you has got teenage children or had teenage children? So, and it's mostly guys. Yeah? So if you really want to embarrass your teenage children, you take them to a shop and you go to the ladies section and you get out pink trousers. Okay? That's like the super cringe moment when you get back to them. In theory. Because you know what happened? I got these trousers, went into the changing cabinet, wanted to go out, and the kids had gone. Okay? They had gone. But what happened was this very strange sort of female changing cabinet chat. There was a middle-aged lady approaching me and said, "Oh, that looks so awesome!" And I was like, what do I say now? What do I say? Oh, thank you. That is ever so nice. And then she was like, oh, I wish I had your slim legs. And I was like, oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. But then it went on and she said, but my ass is too fat. And I was like, oh, no, you've got a really nice ass. Oh, did I really say that? So that was that. Yeah, and then Ushka actually thinks that I'm...
And then he sends me this photo. Come on, seriously? I wish we could zoom it in, but there's a happy face, there's a proud pose, and do what you love sign on top of it. So I think that was actually his moment when he was finally doing what he loves. So that is actually the message of the thing for the startups. Do what you love, always. And things will be just awesome for you guys, and you will appear like this as a gem in a room, doing what you love.
Yes, and then the question is, what's Ushka's superpower? And we discovered something about that as well. And we heard a little bit about it. So let me in on that story. December, 20th of December around. Okay, we had a strategy meeting, and somebody was like, "Yeah, this is boring. Let's play some music." And for everybody who wants to stand up now, because we just enjoy this too much.
And we can't get no sleep, of course, startups. So that's the truth.
Okay, so that was the song.
That's not the superpower.
What you have to know is that Ushka is actually quite necrophilic when it comes to musicians. And that is only a dead musician is a good musician. And everybody has got their keys, and they're accepted, and it's fine. Just in this case, it's not, okay? 20th of December, we're listening to this, and there's this quote from Ushka. See, I also do like artists that are still alive. 2 days later, the guy dies. Okay?
It's funny for all of you, but for me, it's just
2 days
seriously
later, the guy
that shit
dies.
happened.
Okay, and then you can say it's coincidence, that superpower. But then this happens a couple of months later. Tina Turner dies. And I let you in on something very private. A WhatsApp chat between me and Ushka. And I wrote to her, you didn't listen to Tina Turner today, did you? The reply comes, ha ha ha. Actually, when I was driving to Graz and talking to Martin, she was on the radio, private dancer song, and I started singing and asking Martin for karaoke. Ha ha ha. Okay? 2 minutes later, what the heck are you asking that for? Are you singing her songs now? And 2 minutes later, it dawns on her. Gosh, I just killed Tina Turner. So this is Ushka's superpower. You know, if she really loves you, it might be a problem. And this goes out to the startups now. If you do what you love, you can stand on stage in pink trousers and still enjoy yourself. And the second one is even more important. If your pitch shouldn't be perfect and Ushka doesn't completely love it, you might be better off with it. Okay? And with that, we wish you all the best for your pitch. Go to presentations, and the first one up is Jeff. It is.
We'll do the video later.
Oh, we'll do the video, sorry.
Because I want to just,
I messed it up.
He cannot just leave the stage saying that if I love people, this is what happens.
Right, I'm sorry.
Can I just add on that I just don't use the word love anymore, because apparently if I use the whole one, then it's a problem. So I just kind of hate you, and so because I do that, and I really don't like our partners, really don't like the front row, many of you in the audience, totally kidding. But this is why we then do these kind of things for people we don't really love. And I haven't seen it yet. So yes, we do have some workshops this weekend, but the most important is to actually relax, have fun. Oh my God, whatever that is, I want it.
We need to speak with our body, so.
Feeling confident today? Yes, absolutely. You gonna horse ride again?
I mean, I've already ridden.
Oh, pony.
A pony, yeah.
Our team building, you know, that I get to connect. We had a lot of workshops, a lot of things to do with horses. That's why such a long segment of horses. I know that for the audience it might not be so interesting and so dynamic, but it's a first show today, so for them, you know, it relaxed them. It brought some memories. Nice. You were like having fun, enjoying, being relaxed, and that's the feeling. So. Now we're going actually for the serious things. So we start with two inspirational speakers that we invited. And first I'm inviting Jeff Burton, who flew all the way from Silicon Valley. He's a founder of electronic arts, or everyone always knows about it, but most of all, he's a man of huge heart, generosity, kindness, and that's Jeff. So Jeff, enjoy.
Thank you.
I don't even know how to tell a joke. I'm not humorous, so but I love the fact that that seems to be so much part of the atmosphere here. And I also had to bring some, cheat sheets because I have some words in here that I don't want to mispronounce, and also some quotes. So I'm sorry, but I'll have to refer down to my notes. So first, I really do want to thank you all, but particularly, Urshka, I don't want to miss anybody, and Martin, Hannes, and Andras, and all of the members of the Hummelnest community. And of course, I don't want to leave out the, Raiffeisen-Landesbank, Steiermark. Anyway, I'm truly honored to be here. It's a pleasure. It's a beautiful city. I also want to comment a little bit on about the incredibly fortunate journey that I've had in my life. I went on about it for about 4 hours the other night. So those of you who heard that, I hope you. And I will not go through it again. Ask me, please, not the 4-hour story again. But it was fun to discuss all that stuff. But I really do want to express some salient points about the entrepreneur's journey. First, of course, as Hannes and Krishna said, you have to pursue a product about which you can be passionate, and that you believe can actually change people's lives for the better. When we started Electronic Arts, games of all things, we believed we could satisfy a basic human need. During hard times and suffering in the modern world, people do look to entertainment, to sort of a brief escape from such. And during the good times and happy times, they look for entertainment as well. So it's a darn good market to be in. It's active during good times and bad times. And in addition to that, on a more subtle level, games of all kinds, whether they are board games, physical games, video games, and even Candy Crush, you're going to fail when you play it. And what you do, or what do you do when you reach the failing? When failure hits you, you start over again and again. It can provide a rather interesting internalization of one of life's greatest lessons. And that's when you fail, you pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and start again. In life, failure need not be the end, but a new beginning. So I believe that there's no better way to learn such a lesson in life than to be an entrepreneur in a startup company. Of course, you have to gather the best, brightest, most talented people, and you have to have a product that lots of people in the world want to buy or pay for, and you have to be willing to work hard, very, very long hours, and make things happen. It's hard to believe, but I remember that at the beginning of EA, I had to hand type letters for postal service delivery to Europe. And that's just to get our products purchased or sent to Europe and sold to Europe. And financially, there were no wire transfer funds. We had to rely on letters of credit. So that was really, of course, before internet. That was hard. That was a lot of hard work for now no reason. It's so great that we don't have to do that anymore. Our investors at the time said we were crazy to think about developing trying to do business internationally. They said, just stick to the United States market. That's what there's no reason to go abroad internationally. I was my focus had been international business when I was at Atari and a previous company that I was with in medical instruments. And so I really believed that international business was great. Well, These days, of course, no local market is sufficient. Not Austria, not Germany, or Poland, or even Latvia, or the United States. In these days, the entire world is your oyster. And I thought, wait a second, where does that phrase come from? I'd forgotten. It's a Shakespearean. It comes from Shakespeare. I got the quote from it. It's Act 2 of The Wives of Windsor or something like that. I didn't even read that Shakespearean play. But anyway, so Falstaff says to Pistol, I will not lend thee a penny. Pistol replies, why then the world's mine oyster, which I with sword will open the oyster. And Falstaff replies, not a penny. And it's a good thing to remember when you've been turned down by a VC. Just remember, it's when you get rejected, you ignore it and follow this advice. The world's your oyster, and you're going to pursue it. So we at EA were extremely fortunate that the timing was just right for us to raise $5 million at that time. We turned that investment into a $35 billion company after 40 years, but still that was quite an accomplishment. On the other hand, after Stanford bachelor's degree, my son, he did a startup and raised $5 million. His startup was in solar energy. Had great people, brilliant product and huge potential. However, for them, the timing was simply wrong. Not long after starting the company, the solar energy market in the U.S. crashed, it collapsed, and that was completely beyond control of anything that he and his partners or company or investors did or could do. So his company got dissolved after 40 years, and what he did was he picked himself up. He went to UCLA Law School, is now a successful corporate attorney, and that's the kind of thing everybody has to do. You simply start over. None of this is easy, and you do have to have some luck along the way, and that part you can't control. What you can control is your attitude and behavior. My father always told me, Jeff, it's not what happens to you in life that matters, it's what you do with what happens to you. And I think that probably was his best advice to me. The thing is, you can always survive and thrive if you have the right attitude about it all. And that brings me to today. Without meaning to be overly dramatic about it, if you were who we are, without being too dramatic, you are who we are counting on for the future, all of you guys. And it's your turn now. I know that you put your lives into your efforts to date, and that's really different from decades past. It's actually the time in history for Europe to, as a united community, to guide the future of the world. Russia is a huge menace, even though apparently inept in some regards. I think China is a threat to the entire Western civilization. And the US is trying to destroy itself with stupid politics. Europe has to step forward and lead. The world's hopes and dreams lie with you. Give us a reason to believe.
And you do give us reason to believe. Thank you so much, Jeff. Now we'll continue with another inspiring lady this time. We have Tari flying in from Spain literally today. And she is like very witty, sharp-minded. Venture capitalist, but from the other side, She is all about connecting female tech providers, producers, founders with social impact initiatives and combining all three worlds, you know, passion, social stuff, and venture capital. It can actually happen. No, got it. So you have some words for our startups as well. Welcome.
Yes, thank you very much for all the team and to inviting me. It's an honor to be here. And I'm going to be the opposite of Jeff, the other side. I started my career in the private banking, then I moved to venture capital in 2016. 1 year later, they asked me if I wanted to become general partner of the second fund. They want me specifically as an investor relations director because coming from the private banking, I was in charge of the family offices in Spain from different banks, for sure. And when they offered me that day that they offered me to become general partner, I was seeing some pitches and I was with my female friends, investors. And they offered me, do you want to become general partner of the second fund? And I said, yeah, sure. And I went to my friends and said, what does it mean to be a general partner? And they were looking at me like, Taryn, there's only 4 females in the whole Spain. Say, no, that could not be possible. Why? Where are the females? What are they doing? Why the females are interacting differently with investors than the males? And then why? We decided to build up Impulse for Women, a non-profit organization that today we're 11,000 startups. We're connecting them with investors. Now we're gonna start here. First step, family, friends, and foods. I know that you're in different stages of maturity, but it's very important to have close your family, friends, and foods because you're gonna have dinner with them in Christmas. It's gonna be your neighbor. Yes, at the beginning, nothing happens. But as much closest and nicest are the agreements with them, much more clean is also for the venture capital that doesn't care anything who are the family and friends and foods. They just want you to clean up the cup table, come over, and if not, I'm not going to invest in you because I don't have more. Okay? So this is something super important, family, friends, and foods. You want to maintain your relationships. Second one, business angels. Business angels, pocket money. They normally have deeper knowledge of a sector and they invest locally. Every day more and more, I'm seeing after COVID, how they are starting to arrange themselves and making a syndicate clubs and going forward. They're not only investing in one country, they're starting to invest in other countries and they're moving a little bit more than they used to. Venture capital. Now, we are going to the early stage. Normally, venture capital is not investing in a startup until you don't have an MRR. We're like looking to you like a V. And okay, I always compare it like when the airplane is going out from the finger until takeoff. We're looking at you, which is the route that you're doing, how much you're increasing your monthly returns revenues. And then, boom, we're coming in. Okay? There's some exceptions like deep tech and health tech that it takes longer to get to the market and to get revenues. These are also specific funds for that. Don't lose your time to go to see a VC. It's 40% of your time that you have to invest. It's an opportunity cost that you are putting in to search for a VC instead of going and producing in or putting your mind in your project or service. Okay? So once that you want to go to the VC or to the investor, you have to be very clear of which type of investor are you looking for to see and validate if they're investing in your type of project or sector, because sometimes you're losing time, and time is very valuable for you now. You got the market, you got competitions, and everything is moving very quickly. So sometimes it's easier to make an analysis, go straight to them, knock the door before you need them. Why? Networking. These places, even though that you don't need a venture capital today because you're looking for a business angel, go to the venture capital, shake the hand, start talking to them like in a personal way, and when you need it 2 years later, maintain also the relationship because they will refer you. So maybe I'm not investing in crypto, but My friends are doing it, and I can call my friend. Investors, we are co-investing with, we are not competitors. We are competitors if this coming one fund is going to get half a million euros from you, and I want the €500,000 from you. Then we are competitors. But normally, I'm calling my friend. I love that startup. Do we share risk? Half you, half me. You go into the board, and I'm going to the other side, to the board. That's what we're doing. We do have bosses. They are called LPs. A fund is made of 2% of the GP money. That the GP are putting 2% of the money in it, and the rest is coming from investors. LPs, we call them. People that have their trust in our asset management. They are our bosses. We present them the startups that we are gonna invest in, and they have a minimum decision, but they have a decision. We receive 1,500 startups per year. You have to receive a lot of no's before you receive a yes. So don't stop. From 1,500, we make a due diligence of 84. We invest in 4, 5. Hello. So don't stop. This is why the analysis before going to the investors is so important. Another thing that I think that is super, just to avoid you to go circling around, we'll come over later. Okay. We also help you to go to the next round. Sometimes we are saving money and we are making followers. 90% of the times that the startups are falling, the reason why the startups are falling in our portfolio is because of the team. That's where we spend more time, longer time. And this is why also it's very important for us that women partners and to know you. To take the decision, the first thing that we look is like, okay, which is the problem you're solving? Which is how are you getting revenues? And the third step, who is the team? Come over, start to explain me. What is the reason why he's going over there? Why he's thinking that? What do you think? Like we are more with fundamentals and psychology's questions than more longer than the proper project or service. You know? And finally, I really recommend you to have mentorings. You're going quicker. You avoid mistakes. You can get solutions easier if someone is referring. So get a good mentor, someone that for you is going to be helpful. The investors are also, some of them are hands-on made, and they could be also very good advisors because they have been already a startup and they know where you're going through, like the case of Jeff, or in my case, I have been 7 years in startups. So I have seen different solutions. I have been dealing with COVID, with sectors, with corporates, venture capitals, with another venture capitals, with splitting off startups. So all these things, they are gonna help you in the next future, and you're going much more quicker. Okay? Thank you very much. It has been
and you actually hit a number on. You'll see in the pitch. And now it's actually the time, the moment that you've all been waiting for. And we'll start with the top 5. But for that, I'm inviting Hannes, because it needs a little bit of clarification what actually top 5 in the Hummelnest program means. Hannes.
Very well. Very briefly, the aim of the game, as I said, on Nur Insel is that we get more international juice into the Graz ecosystem. And I hope you like the juice. That is all I'm saying now, because I think the 4 pitches you're going to see are extraordinary, and I do wish you enjoy them as much as the people presenting will enjoy pitching. So all the best to all of us, and have some fun. Again, I did
money
something
talk. You can't go off starting explaining how to invest, but top 5 have a specific
And top 5
candy.
have a specific candy. And the specific candy is that Raiffeisen-Landesbank is committed to investing at least 50,000 euros. Either in all of them, in one of them, whatever. But there's the commitment to invest. So we'll see. He did.
There's an applause moment for that. Yeah, it's the propaganda segment. You know, it's like seriously great thank you for the Raiffeisen-Landesbank Steiermark because we're all here because of you. Yay!
But let's not keep them waiting.
Let's see who's the first one. We're inviting on the stage Grzegorz from UX Mining, and from now on, all the game is yours.
So, UX has come a very long way since Don Norman coined the term user experience in early 1990s, as from then to now, the number of UX professionals reached 1 million. And it is predicted that by 2050, it will reach the number of 100 million UX professionals. However, for a designer to create a meaningful digital product, it is very important to understand their users. And then to get this understanding, they usually drive the so-called in-depth interviews so that they can understand what sort of emotions their users have, how do they perceive the current digital product, but what is more, what expectations would they have towards the next features or the next version. And having this knowledge, the designer can create this product in a way that it truly matches the real market needs and with this achieve real product market fit. However, performing this user research activity is extremely difficult. First of all, it's hard to find the right participant that the UX person can really talk to. Second of all, it requires quite a tough multitasking, as a designer have to both ask questions, moderate the entire interview, make sure that everything is recorded, and finally, creating the report with all of the insights that is both interactive and understandable to all of the stakeholders is a very time-consuming process. This is why we create UX Mining, a platform that allows researchers to perform these user research processes effectively. And it starts from the recruitment module, where we find the right participants that the designer can talk to. Then we have the dedicated interview module, adjusted video conferencing solution for user research needs, and then everything is recorded and goes to our analysis module, out of which it is possible to create the final report. And when it comes to our analysis module, we put there all of the recordings from such in-depth interviews, and our users have the capability to create like a short video clips representing the most important fragments of such interviews, so that it's later easily shareable, for example, 15 seconds of the interview that represented the most important insights. And what is more, it is built on top of AI transcript and sentiment analysis, so that later on it's easy to scroll through the most important information that represent, for example, certain emotion, like positive or negative, that can later on influence the real product development. Finally, of course, one-click report generation that can be presented to the entire team, so that everyone, engineers, product managers, and so on, can understand the key insights and conclusions from such user research studies. So you can say that there is, of course, a lot of competition in the user research space, and that's true. However, most of our competitors are right now very much US focused, meaning they deliver participants from USA, or their product interfaces are particularly developed in English. This is why companies, for example, from Austria or other European countries need to rely on local UX agencies, which on the other hand is quite an expensive solution. This is why we found our niche as UX Mining, which is a self-service solution with the EU focus. And our business model is based on 3 pillars. It is, of course, a SaaS product. This is participant recruitment services. And finally, if a company doesn't have enough big expertise in the user research space, we offer them UX research consulting services. When are we right now as a startup, as a company? We developed the first version of our product. We secured the first VC pre-seed investment, and what is more, we've set first key partnerships with other UX providers, other UX startups and products, so that together we can create the bundles and conquer the enterprise market. But what we are most proud of are, of course, our first clients that we helped with user research services. And to create such a product, such a startup like UX Mining, you of course need a UX designer, and this is me. You need to have dedicated software engineers, which we have, but also people that have the expertise in marketing and business development, which we also have. So, when was the last time you spoke to your users? With UX Mining, you can finally discover experiences of your users much more effectively and much more frequently. And thank you so much for your attention.
And a lot of people asking, how do we do interviews? How do we do that? How do we know what customers think? Dr. Grzegorz, there is a solution. Alrighty? Let's continue. And now I'm inviting on stage Alona from Pure Oceans.
Do you know what the lungs of the planet Earth is? You probably think it's forest, Amazon forest, but it's actually not. Because ocean is the one. Because 70% of the oxygen comes from actually the ocean ecosystem. And ocean is our biggest carbon dioxide absorber. Think about it. However, human beings are dropping a huge amount of pollution into the global waters on an annual basis, which actually sink down to the water body's floor. No one sees it, but it results in the death of ecosystem, diminishing the production of the oxygen for human beings. So main sources of the pollution comes from actually oil transportation industry and ports. But the climate crisis urges ports to be accountable for the pollution and clean the historically accumulated pollution over 100 years and maintain the cleanness of the ports. How do they do that? They use old-fashioned way of excavation. What is excavation? It's basically digging everything out, polluting elements together with organics, fish, and microorganisms, which is actually a complicated process. It's a very costly process, and it causes destructive impact on underwater ecosystem. So, in Pure Ocean, we have an alternative method to deal with this problem. We have developed an eco-friendly solution that safely and harmlessly remove oil and plastic pollution from the seabed. And how do we do that actually? We use air bubbles, only air bubbles. We infuse air bubbles to the bottom of a port or any water body where the pollution actually resides. Then we're able to break the bound between the polluting elements and the organics right at the bottom of the seabed. The polluting elements get stick to the air bubble, and with the air bubble we bring it up to the surface within the controllable matter within the device. This is the biggest magic, which actually this method really cut the cost of the cleaning project by more than 5 times in comparison with existing excavation methods. It's not only cost-efficient solution nowadays, but it's also very effective. Here's our project that we did in Lake in Siberia, where we was able dramatically diminish the oil concentration at the seabed by 98%, and it's done without using any harmless substances or mechanical intervention. Being cheap, effective, and we're also able to speed up natural rehabilitation of the water body, bringing an immense environmental impact to the ecosystem. Turning the lake, which is extremely polluted with 100% of fish animally, into the healthy one with happy fish. So, green solution like Pure Ocean can also mean business. Oil cleaning market is quite huge, but even focusing only on cleaning ports within the European area, we're able to have a 1.1 billion in obtainable market. And this is derived from a critically polluted areas within liquid cargo terminal only in Europe. So targeting 5% of liquid cargo terminals with a critical area of 10 hectares, we're able to hit 45 million by 2030. In order to do this, we employ two-stage business model. Firstly, we act as a service provider for ports and waste management companies, cleaning the ports and charging 90,000 euros per hectare cleaned. This period of time we need for coming up with the final product that's easy to use and moving into the rental model that will be that let us reach economy of scale around the world, be present and do cleaning services in different locations. In order to do that, we're raising a seed round to improve our current prototype, which is 100% manual device at the moment, into the semi-automatic one and serve the first client within the European port. So we are an entrepreneurial team from Latvia with over 30 years of experience in microbiology and engineering and able to tackle polluting problem of the waters. And I would like to finish my presentation with a quote of the oldest marine activist, Sylvia Earle, who was saying, "No ocean, no us. No ocean, no life." So let's unite our effort into cleaning and restoring our ocean ecosystem and actually giving us oxygen. And I ask you to support us in this mission. Thank you.
Think about that when you go to the seaside now. And if there is a project, as you know, like digital projects are one thing, but building this kind of projects is a whole new monster. So she needs support, a lot of it, financial, supporting the team, what is partners, ecosystem, sports, everything. So think about that. Think when you're lying on the seaside, we all want to have a nice holiday along nice seaside, and think how we can support this mission to actually come alive. Okay? So let's see what's next. Tech behemoths. Marcel.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for visiting us. Developers. The gentleman behind me is Steve Ballmer, Microsoft CEO. And we already see he's paying back in 2000, desperately looking for reliable tech teams for his enterprise. Have you ever been in the same situation? Most probably yes. How was your experience in finding that reliable technical team for your businesses? Most probably painful, maybe disappointing even. You know what? Even after 23 years, as of today, the problem is still not solved. For us, for businesses, is it a small family business, a medium business, an enterprise corporation? It's still extremely expensive. It's unreliable, and it's a tedious process to find those teams. We spend a lot of cash for headhunters, recruiters. We spend a lot of effort in analyzing their reputation, their trustworthiness, and at the end we may still get disappointed because it's not that right team. At the same time, for them, for IT service providers, they still struggle for the same perspective. They have potential, but most of the times, great teams of developers, designers, they shut down. And the reason for shutting down is that they unfortunately don't have access to those long-term projects, reliable clients. This also leads to a slowing economic growth. Instead of hiring more people in their local communities, that Graz, Moldova, or India, whatever, they are shutting down. Instead of paying more taxes and growing their businesses. All until now. My name is Marcel Sobieski. I'm the founder of Tech Behemoths, and I'm proud to show you what we have achieved so far. Tech Behemoths is the fastest growing marketplace that connects projects, businesses, with reputable, trustworthy service providers. But we all know, great idea is just another idea if it's not implemented correctly. Ladies and gentlemen, today in front of you, I will proudly display our achievements in facts and in numbers. As of today, we already have 45,000 registered IT service providers. They are coming from 140 countries. We are covering 500 services, from logo design to AI, blockchain, enterprise services. We have already sent 2,500 contact and project requirements from businesses like ourselves to companies from all over the world. We even collected more than 3,000 reviews from those corporations to help the future partnerships and generations even to rely on those service providers. And everything in just 1.5 years since our launch. For whom is the platform? Actually, we are attacking directly, simultaneously, two divisions. On one side, we are helping anyone who has a good idea, who has a potentially great project or business to find that reliable team. And at the same time, we help those IT teams to get in touch with businesses and continue their success together. What do? Basically, we help people and we help businesses to ignite their ideas, to succeed, to launch. God knows how many great opportunities just shut down because there were no reliable technical teams around them. I'm proudly also displaying you what we have achieved, a sneak peek of how the platform works like. We have a beautiful map. You can scroll throughout the continents. You can choose the country you prefer, and you'll get the list of those companies in that specific country. We have a very thorough business profile for every company listed. We were inspired by Statista with data-driven details, nice graphics, and information for a nice due diligence process. We have as well a very nice inbox messaging system where you can have a very clean overview of your communication with the client or with the company. We have as well a very good product market fit. We are on the market and thousands of clients are already using us, different sizes. Companies like Nokia, Decathlon or Costco are already using tag behemoths. Even Baidu from China, OSCE or University of South Carolina. An important detail, all of these big companies, they came to us without paid advertisement. By the way, we have never invested anything in paid advertisement. Everything is organic growth. The value that we bring, all the projects are manually vetted, meaning that all the messages that are being sent on the platform are first moderated by us. We want to spare companies from receiving useless partnership messages or spam or unrelated messages by just sending them right, accurate message once a month even. We have sent so far from our data projects worth more than $1 million to our companies, registered companies. And in stealth mode, we generated already $35,000. On a side note, being here this week, we received another paycheck of €3,500 from a company from Canada willing to work on tech behemoths. Just to give you some details, because numbers really matters to prove the traction. This is the map from where our visitors are coming, 155 countries, including Somalia and Yemen. Yes. We have 100,000 unique monthly visitors on the platform, and a month-over-month growth of 10% in the last 6 months. Just right here, we have 100 million times impressions on Google, meaning that we appeared 100 million times on Google and got 1 million clicks with an average CTR of 1%. The average market CTR, by the way, is 0.75. As every product or startup, we also have to have a clear business model, and we have that divided into 2 parts. At the end of this year, we're introducing selling placements, selling project leads, and yearly subscription, because we want to become a SaaS model business. By the end of 2025, we plan to integrate also job portal. Imagine, today we have already 45,000 companies. Each company will have just 2 vacancies. We have 90,000 vacancies almost instantly, a huge market opportunity. Revenue share and escrow by the end of 2026. We are Accelerator. This is our very first experience in our life, being Accelerator. We came here to network, to learn, to get inspired from our colleagues, from our mentors and organizers. In fact, just being here for 3 months, we have seen 30% increase in most of our metrics thanks to this program, for whom we are extremely grateful to Hummelnest and Transformation Lighthouse, of course. My team, they're just right there. We're together since 2014, 9 years together. We created, it's a proven, we have a proven track record, in fact. We have 4 other startups created with 3 micro exits from 2017 to 20 for 2 US and British companies. We are 100% bootstrapped, meaning that we were extremely frugal with our coins, but at the same time, as you see, we know how to cherish those little moments of success. This awesome team doesn't stop here. We have a clear path on what to continue and how to continue. By the end of this year, we are introducing already AI ML automation, the job portal that I mentioned before, and the escrow service in 2025. All in all, Tech Behemoths is the ultimate destination to find those top-tier IT companies for any business. We don't want to become the Amazon for IT companies. We don't want to have that toxic environment, being manipulated, click here, click there. We want to be the Etsy, the Airbnb for IT companies, to have a smooth, enjoyable experience in looking for those partners to whom to work with, to be in a safe position. Basically, I think everyone in this room can be a user or a client of Tech Behemoths. Either are you looking for a tech team for any kind of businesses, please join us and search for that team. Or are you that IT team, please join us and wait for the projects. My team is just right there. Ask us anything, and we're happy to answer your questions. Thank you very much.
And it's actually rising 15 new per day, huh? 50. 50 per day. And after today, because you totally recognize your own names, we are expecting 150 new per day, okay? That's not what we want. And his team is literally here. Can you wave? And with that, we go to our precision sports technology and Emma.
Hi everyone, and thank you so much for coming. So first of all, could I ask who here has ever lifted weights in a gym before? Well, great, so me too. My name is Emma, I'm a software engineer, but I'm also a competitive Olympic weightlifter. So when I'm training for a competition, I currently have to manually record a video of every exercise set I do in the gym, send it to my coach on WhatsApp, and then wait up to a week for feedback. But millions of people are lifting weights every day. Incorrect technique can lead to increased risk of injury, reduced performance, and lack of engagement in exercise. In fact, around 40% of people have actually injured themselves in a gym. This problem is compounded for competitive sports teams from grassroots to elite level and across all sports. Strength and conditioning coaches and physiotherapists for competitive sports teams need to be able to measure movement competency in order to benchmark athletic performance, track injury rehabilitation, and prescribe exercise programs, some of their key roles. However, this is currently extremely difficult, either done subjectively by eye or using manual wearable sensors, which take up way too much time and effort. More so, another worry they have is when their athletes are training remotely during the off-season or when injured. They have no idea whether their athletes are safe or performing their exercises correctly, leading to increased risk of injury. That is why we have developed our proprietary software platform to solve these problems for the athlete, coach, and provide incredible insights to the whole sporting organisation. Our system is utilising 3D depth sensing technology to provide real-time feedback and analysis on exercise technique using AI. Our software solution notifies the athlete in real time whether they are in the correct position or not on a completely individualised pair-joined traffic light-based system. This solution can be used live in the gym or remotely, facilitating high-quality coaching anywhere. That was an example of our initial prototype for the real-time feedback. However, this is deep tech and requires significant investment in capital, time, and data. So, we have worked with our prospective customers to develop our very first product we are launching to the market, which you can see here. The software running on a tablet or smartphone provides automated objective analysis to the coach, so they can know how other athletes are moving, whether they are progressing, or if there are any anomalies in their movement pattern, so they can intervene as required. This can all be achieved without any additional hardware due to the rapidly accelerating developments in artificial intelligence and now the availability of LiDAR depth sensing technology on smartphones and tablets. This solution then improves feedback loops, reduces subjectivity in measurement, and improves communication across the sporting organisation. This then leads to reduced injury risk, enhanced performance, and huge time savings across the organisation. So because of this, we have now had incredible pull into the sports market, where the analytics sector is already valued at over 1.4 billion euros and rapidly growing at over 25% year on year. we are currently laser focused on this market, where we will sell our software on a licensed subscription service, with pricing scaled based on seat numbers and premium features. However, since we are API-led, we can leverage partnerships to then target the much larger markets of remote physiotherapy and personal training, among others, to achieve huge global scale. We already have more than 40 customers, well actually 50 as of today, signed up for our trials across some of the top competitive professional and amateur sports competitions in the world. In fact, our clients from the Champions League and the Olympics actually reached out to us to find out about our solution. Most recently, we are super excited to announce that we have now secured clients from the NFL and the NBA on board for our trials. Our first US customers, which will be our primary market after 2025. This solution is miles ahead of what is out there on the market at the moment. Current ways of trying to measure movement are either using manual wearable sensors, really complex marker laboratory motion capture systems, or manual drawing apps, which all take up way too much effort and time, the most valuable resource in any organization. We are a world-class team with domain expertise, proven track record, and global connections. Sean has recently joined us full-time as our commercial lead, having previously led sports tech sales internationally and is a practicing strength and conditioning coach. I myself, besides my passion for Olympic weightlifting and personal training, am also a proven technical leader, having previously led feature development for Cisco WebEx, successfully deployed to tens of millions of customers worldwide. So, what's next? We are currently raising our pre-seed round to hit the next big milestones in our journey, and we are offering investors that commit before September that they will receive a 10% discount on their equity when the round converts in December. For everyone else here, we want to know if you know any professional physiotherapists or strength and conditioning coaches working with sports teams, that you could please expand your network to us. Lastly, we are growing our team, so if you or anyone you know has a passion for software, startups and sports, we would love to hear from you. So if you would like to hear anything more about anything I've discussed here, please come talk to me after this. I have some free stickers here along with my contact details. So I want to say a huge thank you for listening and an even bigger thank you to the Hummelnest team for making this happen. Thank you so much.
You heard her. She was very direct what she needs. And if among you there is a passionate athlete, I know for two of them in the audience, you can actually test them out and check their physical strength. Hannes volunteered.
Hannes is our first sponsored athlete. Yes.
And now we said we have in the top five segment, but unfortunately, in real life there are situations that prevent you to come on an event important as this one for some even more important reason. But we do want to hear, you to hear two sentences about the reusable technology. So I'm actually inviting Martin because he's been working with them the most and the longest. There's no slides. There's no slides.
Hi. I know I'm not from reusable team, but we are so sorry that they couldn't make it here. But I'm gonna tell you some stuff about them. Basically, reusable technologies is dealing with electronic waste. They're trying to repurpose electronic waste in order for you to get new products and put the materials back in the market. So their idea is now focused on batteries. They are recycling 1860-50 cells and they are repurposing them. They are building new products from them, and they actually managed to secure 60% of all used batteries from Slovenian market. And now they're looking for expansion to other markets in Europe. So they are a great team with a great product, and they're looking for support, looking for connections. But if you want to know more about them, contact us. Contact Urška. You can find them also on the LinkedIn website.
Thank you. That was an unplanned feature for a startup that's not here. Thank you, Martin. You did a good job. So with that, we closed the top 5. But as you all know, it was never only about top 5. We also have a group of startups that we call local superheroes. And for that, I'm again inviting Hannes to come and explain what are local superheroes and why do they have their own segment.
So, as I said before, we want international startups, but only international startups is also not the solution. So what we want to provide is also a space for local superheroes. And you know the colors of Raiffeisen. What are the colors of Raiffeisen? They are black and yellow. And black and yellow actually have been the old imperial colors of the Austro-Hungarian monarchy. So we define local superheroes a bit broader. We haven't only got local superheroes from Graz, but we also got some from Slovenia and also some from Vienna. But of course, we want Graz to be the center of the world, so we see them as local superheroes. And you'll have the chance to hear 3 of them, and hopefully you'll enjoy it as much as the first 4. And I hope that I haven't forgotten anything. I haven't forgotten anything now.
Perfect.
See?
It was perfect.
See? So I'm glad as well.
So we'll start actually really local, and let's go from Graz out because this is the epicenter of the Hummelnest, okay? Artset and both of you, we have 2 pictures now. Huh? The local superheroes are a bit different. Stage is yours.
So, we are a social impact startup, and our vision is to build a more resilient society through creative pursuits. Let me ask you, when was the last time you could really zoom out and forget all the noise around you? Well, most of the people struggle exactly with this. Alone in Austria, every second person is assigned to a certain state of burnout. According to the World Health Organization, stress-related diseases are one of the biggest threats to our health. But why is it that people don't take preventive action? They tell us it's because of stigma, because of organizational problems, or lack of motivation or lack of feedback. And that's why we created Artset. It's like a gym, but not for sports, but for creativity and mental health. You can choose out of more than 60 different art and craft forms in mini workshops. It's usually about 2 hours, from pottery to carving to spice mixing to beer brewing and so on. It's very easy integratable in a busy lifestyle, since you can even book and cancel an hour before. But what is the magic behind it? Well, it's an app where you have your own personal flow dashboard with 6 different growth areas, like divergent thinking or stress reduction. You set your own personal goals. It's research-based, it's AI-supported and data-driven. And with our app, you get those suggestions with the highest probability to reach the predefined goals of each user. Our business model is based on a residual space system, which has already been used in the sports and fitness industry for several years, for instance by Mike Clubs, who is also our mentor, by the way. And our workshop participants pay a monthly fee, and we pay our workshop facilitators a fixed fee. This is usually a lot lower than a regular price, since we work with leftover spots.
And as B2B customers are our main target group, we operate in the market of employer benefits. And this means in the DACH area involves more than 500,000 companies. In our case, we focus on them that spend above average on employer benefits. And this is all happening in a very rapidly increasing market of 10% per year compound annual growth rate. And of course, there's competition, but when having a closer look at the technology, we see that we clearly set us apart from them. And this is mainly due to the recommender engine that I based on the one hand from empirical data generated by the users and also from already established research databases, research models. And on the other hand, as we are a platform, we have already only in Graz more than 60 different art and craft forms. So we are basically using and utilizing the platform of it. And what is really cool, we already have 400 paying customers, users on the platform. And in 2 months, we are going to expand our offering to Vienna and want to reach our goal of 1,000 customers by the end of the year.
Our team, consists of both technical and business skills with a strong background of service and product development. And we have a highly decorated advisory board and even more corporations. With those experts, we could already make revenue for the last 1.5 years. So we are asking for 500,000 euros to develop our app and also to scale in international markets. Creativity is one of the most important skills in the world, and mental health is crucial. So together, we can build a more resilient society through creativity.
If you're, for instance, searching for 500,000, they really are. See? Huh. We're crossing the borders now, and we'll continue with today from pharmacist. I was like, where's the...
That's me.
Yeah, I was like, oh, did we lose her?
As you can see, I'm really passionate about food and meat I eat. I really like chicken wings, chicken roast, and as me, a lot of fellow Europeans really like poultry meat. So much that 300,000 tons, we every year consume more than 3,000 tons of chicken meat. This means that every day 3 barns are newly built, and in Europe stands 34,000 barns with at least 10,000 animals. But poultry breeding is very energy consumption. This means that heating represents 60% of all running costs for the breeder, and heating is proportional to animal welfare. This means that we need a lot of energy if we want right kind of conditions in the barns, and that directly impact on animal health and the quality of meat we eat. I'm Tadej Kresnik, and I will present to you Pharmasystemy and Tori ventilation system. Tori is very similar as your ventilation in your home or office, but is specially designed for agricultural use, especially for poultry and pig barns. Our main advantage is really high heat transfer. This means that farmer can lower his energy bill by 70%. And we develop special self-cleaning filters, which drastically reduce the operational cost of the device. Our end customer price is 29,000 euros, but we produce our device for 17,000 euros, but we can lower this to 13, and even lower if we can make it by themselves. With the program Impact Forecast, we calculated that in Tori lifespan, we can lower CO2 emissions by 330 tons if we use liquid petroleum gas for the heating of the barn. Our team is small, but we overcome this with enthusiasm, joy to work, and a lot of knowledge of agriculture. Tomasz is our boy, girl for everything. He's salesman, installer, instructor, repair guy. And then there is Luca. Luca is our salesman. He's a key account manager, and he developed sales. And I'm here in this company just for my good looks. And I know a little bit about ventilation, heat transfer, and project management. We started the company in 2019. In 2020, we already have our prototype. We tested it and confirmed the concept. and now we are starting to push the sale. We are seeking at least 300,000 euros, which we will use for a bigger team, and we would like to make a rent model for our device. Because we saw in the market that the upfront cost for our device is quite high, so we would like to make that the savings of our Tori system will pay for themselves. It's similar as photovoltaic systems, and in this case, the breeder will have from 2 to 5 years the device which will pay themselves. In the European Commission and politics really they're really hard to our farmers, our food producers. They demand for them sustainability, circular economy, and animal welfare. And with all of this, our Tori system helps. And additional, Tori makes their operation more profitable. Thank you for your attention. If you have any questions, please find me. I'm very passionate about food, animals, farm system, and Tori ventilations. And if you have too big energy bill, or you know someone, give them my number so they can call me. Thank you.
Our beautiful today is taking care of welfare of chicken, reducing the energy, and by the way, he's an awesome chef. Okay, that didn't come. He likes to eat well, but he's also preparing that food. So we're finishing today's roundup of pitching with another local superhero from Vienna, coming directly to us, Sustin. Welcome.
So, hi, I'm Mark, this is Kasha, and we're from Sustin, and we're here to tell you how we are going to stop greenwashing. You might think that when going to hotels, guests only care about location or room price, but actually 76% of travelers are looking for sustainable accommodations and are even willing to pay more for those. But hotels struggle to be transparent about their sustainable actions. It is becoming an even bigger problem because current and upcoming regulations are forcing them to stay compliant with the ESG frameworks. But hotel managers like Christina here simply do not have the tools or the knowledge to communicate the real value of their actions. Yes, of course, there are certifications, but transparency is what is missing. And that is why we created Sustin, a 360 ESG framework to empower hotels to be sustainable. It works as follows. We ask them to fill in a questionnaire where they are ready to us to upload documents, for example, utility bills, invoices, financial reports, etc., and they can even do it from their phone. We then use OCR technology to extract the data, to extract the relevant for us data, and then we cross-check and validate it with the existing benchmarks from ESG providers. And then we rate the hotel, of course. So Christina can easily show how sustainable is her hotel by simply integrating our certification plugin to their website. It will show how much the hotel has scored for each of the ESG indicators. When the system analyzes the data, we'll further support Christina in generating ESG reports that are driven by regulations, and we'll help her improve ESG-related KPIs with data-driven suggestions.
These are our products, and we will monetize them in the tiered pricing business model, where the prices are tied to the size of the hotel, but not to the score. There is 700,000 hotels in the world, and out of that, 12,000 are located in Austria. But as early adopters, we are focusing only on mid-sized family-owned hotels, and in the future, we want to expand to other EU countries. The market is growing. It's not only driven by the customers demanding sustainable accommodations, but also current and upcoming regulations are forcing hotels by 2027, even the tiniest hotel in Alps has to report their ESG performance. And this is why these hotels need a tool like ours, tailored to their specific needs, not like the current generic ESG management systems currently available in the market. Unlike other certifying organizations, we are automating data collection process, so we are fully digital, data-driven, and ensure scoring accuracy. So, for the hotel, it's simpler and also faster. We are a team of tech enthusiasts with startup expertise, hospitality knowledge, and passion for sustainability. Together, we have everything possible to bring this product to market. We are supported by advisory board, and we have established many partnerships. We are a spin-off of Austrian National Tourism Board, and the project started when we won a hackathon organized by them. So far, we have gathered industry knowledge through incubation programs, secured 60K of funding, interviewed over 20 hotels, and got our first pilot customer. So join us as an investor, and let's become one big sustainable team, Sustain.
Next time you check into a hotel, ask them if they already have Sustain and leave them wonder. Do you already have Sustain? Because otherwise I don't stay in the hotel. Oh yeah, but today let's do it. But next time you should have it. See, that's for the audience, you know, call to action. Go apply for a hotel.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure, for sure. So with that, we rounded also the local superheroes and the pitches. Just for clarification, why? Because you saw that there were many logos on them and now just 3 pitched. Local superheroes are the ones that are not required to be so intensely active in the program, but here and there some of them emerge and they really want to show their best and do their effort, and they want to show their results, and they improved. So with this they deserved their story moment, and Raiffeisen-Landesbank did, in fact, in the past, have an experience of investing in the future in the local superhero as well. Yes? With that, I'm kindly inviting you slowly, with the standing. Whoa. Oh, No, I have another. Now I'm leaving them, letting the tension on what the special announcement is.
What is the special announcement?
First of all, Arlene, first special announcement is seriously. No, yeah. Because now everyone is wondering, but I want them to know that as well. When we finish the event, I want you to observe the amazing art that was going on while you were pitching, because Arlene. Literally drawing all of you on stage, including the 2 of you. So go ahead, take a photo, selfie with her next to your picture and everything. So do admire and do some recognition, because this was going on in the background. If someone was wondering why the walls are all empty when you came, now there's a lot of art going on. Thank you so much for coming and doing all this.
Having me.
Yes. You explain.
Yeah, I don't want to know. I ruined it. I'm like, yeah, maybe next time. Come next year for the demo, then we might disclose what the announcement was. Actually, you know, Hannes said that we are monitoring startups, working heavily with you and observing how things go, how you improve, how you engage. And at some course of these events, you get an offer from Raiffeisen-Landesbank. And usually it happens a little bit later, because for our startups and our gathering, this is not the end. It's just some milestone as a program that we have, and we'll continue working through the summer. So usually we get into the investment phase quite later on in the year. But there was that startup in the program, that founder that was just like all over the place, doing everything and more, partying heavy, working heavily, seriously never lost spirit, never lost energy, never literally said, I'm not doing it because I'm tired. We have never heard that. And this is how we come to a decision yesterday. What did we do?
We came to the decision that we are offering a letter of intent. Banking processes are a bit slow, and we discovered that the processes are also a bit slow, so it's a letter of intent for all there is. But again, we want to partner up. Raiffeisen-Landesbank and Uschka's Bank, maybe you want to say a few words about that? Yeah.
That one is like, there is a fund in the making in the room, and Slovenia and Austria joined forces again, and this is why we're offering this startup. We're intending to invest in this startup if the startup will want to talk to us.
100,000 euros. Emma.
No speech required.
Okay.
A long speech required.
A long speech required. No, it definitely was just like we started the day and she was like, it's a heavy day. And I said, it will brighten up. Did it?
Yes.
And it doesn't mean that we're not investing in anybody else.
No. It's just, it's one of those things, just like, we need to grab her, it's like talking to everyone. What if we miss the opportunity?
Exactly.
So with that, you see, we're full of surprises and pink stuff and nice socks and weird pitches.
And
Are weird
anything
pitches.
else we have to say now?
Do we have
finished.
to? I think I can get rid of the shoes. Guys, enjoy. Thank you once again, startups. Super proud of all of you. Seriously, you were awesome. And all of you audience for participating with that amazing, great energy. So from now on, we just have fun.
And there's food and music.
Food, music, drinks.
Mingle and enjoy.
Enjoy, mingle, take photos, do.